I don't want to run this flow daily manually. Of course, it is possible, but if you take the management add-on for Tableau Server, we cannot only put the flow on the server, but also schedule flows. So imagine that I, every day, want Tableau Prep to look in a specific folder, be it on a shared drive, and to run automatically. Then I can do it in the following way. So I'm going to add an output, tell it to write it to some location, publish it as a data source. I'm going to select a project, default one. I'm going to give it the name again, Tableau Prep 2 this time. I'm going to run it to test. All right, I have a flow which is running. Now, what I can do is publish this flow to my server. How do we do that? Well, by going to the top, you here see the option Publish Flow. Let's go ahead and do that. There is already a flow with this name. A flow with this name already exists. Publishing the flow will replace the existing flow. I'm totally fine with that. You can give a description. This is the flow which combines all of our exports for each month. Then, of course, when you publish the flow, Tableau Server needs to have access to these files. So in practice, if you have your locally on your desktop a few files and you do this, it won't work. Because as you can see, you can choose to upload the files, or you want to allow Tableau Server to have a direct connection to it. So in a business reality, you would open up Tableau, the drive where the files are, and let Tableau Server connect to it. But now, for the sake of the exercise, I'm going to keep it this way. So I'm going to publish, and I click replace. We are currently publishing the flow to our server. It's done. Now, those of you who publish dashboards know that after every publication, you will get a pop-up showing you where the dashboard has been published to. Well, the cool thing is it's the same thing with Tableau Prep flows. So it says publishing complete. This was the flow. A really nice feature is that you even get visually a thumbnail. It's not even a thumbnail, it's a big, nice overview of how it looks. If you have given it tags, it will show. But now, the flow is on there, which means that I and other people capable of it can run it whenever I feel like. I could click run and then it would run. But you see, it has been never run before. But what you can do then is add a schedule to it. If you say like, okay, it totally makes no sense to run it daily because it is monthly data. Imagine that the export arrives there at 12 on the 1st of the month, and you want it to be picked up overnight. You can click on the flow. Now, the second thing you can decide, and this is really the beautiful thing of it, a flow can have multiple outputs. In Little Flow, I made it at one output, but you could have, for example, a huge transaction file for multiple countries, and you want to make available for specific countries, for example, Belgium, France, and Germany. These could be 3 different outputs. Imagine that for some reason the data for Germany or for France isn't necessary anymore. You can here actually select whether you want to run the full flow with all its inputs. Let me zoom in. Or that you can select the output which should be run. So if you have multiple outputs here in this list, you will see multiple outputs as well. So you can play around with the granularity of your data and which flow parts should be executed and which not. Then you can click create task. And that should be it. Then for IT and BI, you have a very nice overview of all the job runs of the prep flows on your server. So here you see job ID, status of the flow, the priority it has been given to run, because sometimes things are scheduled at the same time, it needs to prioritize, etc., etc. When it has run, you can also identify badly designed flows, slow flows, because you get a runtime, queue time, the average runtime, because maybe there was some momentary hiccup. So you probably want to look at the average runtime in this case. Then next to that, you also have the tasks view, where when you click on actual flows, we see that here on this specific site, we have deployed 2 flows to our server. We see the schedule, priority status, whether that flow has been scheduled to run, and the last time the prep flow has run. So this gives a lot of opportunities, new opportunities for dealing with your data, starting from a published data source, doing something with it, publishing it somewhere else.